Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another movie review. I had just watched Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow for the second time, and it had been a long while since I had seen the film itself, and just remembered how unique and innovative it was for its time. And the movie is actually an alternate steampunk version of World War II, and there is a doctor that Polly Perkins is looking for named Totenkopf, and his whereabouts are unknown, so reluctantly Sky Captain, or Joe Sullivan as he's known, takes her along with him in order to get her story for the Chronicle, and lots of action and adventure ensue. It's reminiscent of The Rocketeer, only far better, and it's akin to film noir in the way that it's depicted, and the lighting, and the music reminds me of a lot of classical films from World War II, and movies about comic book heroes, and it just has that unbelievable sound to it, and it's just utterly fantastic, rousing music. I think is some of the best music I've heard in a movie for a long time. It's sort of like it sounds kind of like the Superman theme, but it's different. There's a variation that almost makes you think it's the Superman theme, but it's not. And I love the characters and the robots that the Germans have been sending in, and then you learn it's not really the Germans. That I'm not going to give away any plot points, or that would ruin the film. And it's got plenty of humor and adventure and action, and it's just a really fantastic, utterly remarkable film. The CGI is just dazzling. It just leaves you speechless, and it is just incredible as far as movies go. I think it's a 4-star film, and I give it 2 thumbs up. And the ending is really humorous in the way that they have the banter between Polly and Joe, and and there's another character who is introduced to as part of the RAF, and her name's Frankie. Of course, at first Polly thinks that it's a guy, since Joe calls her Frank, and she's a very interesting character, played by Angelina Jolie, and Polly's character is played by Gwyneth Paltrow, and the main character, the hero, who flies a flying tiger, which is a kick-butt plane, by the way. One of my favorite World War II fighter planes. Is totally awesome, incredible plane, very cool, and completely badass. And she there's a line there are some tensions between them that happened years and years ago, whether she sabotaged his fighting tiger or not, but that's actually a running gag within the film, including the camera and the shots that she makes with her with her camera, and that she only has 2 shots in the very end, and her last shot is of Joe, and he says lens cap. Of course, that's the very last scene. It's very, very funny, and I love the movie, and I remember how much I actually liked it, and it's one of my favorite films of all time, and it's got a little something for everybody in it, and it's got a really tremendous storyline, and it really keeps you interested as far as films go, and it's a fascinating, fantastic movie, and I think it really changed filmmaking as a whole, and it might have brought us films such as 300 and Sucker Punch and other movies like Avatar that came down the pike. And I don't know if this movie took some it probably took some influence from comic books and just maybe some of that Japanese culture that was so influential with the mechs that come in, which are really, really just absolutely unbelievable flying machines that come in and are controlled by a radio signal. We figured that out, but there's more to this movie than just that. It's very interwoven and intricately done, because there's a story that involves Nepal and what's known as Shangri-La, and I won't go into that, but this movie is just absolutely spellbinding, and it's nothing short of just amazing in the way that it's done. And I would love to see more movies done in this way, because there's a certain old-timey feel that makes me nostalgic for films of this era. Well, it was done like a movie would have been done back in the 50s and the 60s and maybe even the 40s, and just that whole golden era of Hollywood. It recalls that, and it's just I think a great homage to that era. And if only more movies were like Sky Captain, it just would be marvelous that the world were like this. But this movie is true to form, and it's unique, and it's just completely epic in everything. And Jude Law is probably my favorite character in the whole film, besides Polly and Frank. I should say Frankie. And Dex is a cool character too. He's really awesome. And then there is another character. We find out more about her, the partner that Totenkopf has had with him. We meet her during near the denouement of the film, and I won't give anything away about her because it's interesting, and it's different, and it just makes for a really unique thrill ride of a film that just expands your imagination, and just I think is a very inspirational film. And it's actually given me some fodder for Mech Academy, which I will be writing in the future. So that'll be on fictionpress.com as soon as I've written it, but it's in progress right now. And that's pretty much all I have to say, other than Guardians of the Ashran Caverns is nearly complete, and it will be posted on fictionpress.com, and I will be working on some other stories coming up in the future. So I will catch y'all later. Ciao.